I'm Joseph, and I'm only 14 years old, but I've had quite a rough life so far. When I was 3 years old, my parents died in a plane crash, and nobody else in my family wanted to take care of me. So I was sent straight into foster care. I've been in and out of several foster homes, and I've never been lucky enough to get adopted. But I'm okay though. For the past 3 years, I've been sharing a home with 8 other kids. To be honest, this has been my most comfortable foster home so far. My foster parents don't really pay much attention to us, so we do what we feel like most of the time. Everything was as normal as could be for foster kids, until one calm day in the summer. Before I continue, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any exciting stories. We lived near a forest, and during our days off from school, we'd often go exploring together. I mean, there was nothing to do in the house anyway, so we had to find a way to occupy our time. Our foster parents weren't rich enough to buy us all computers and other electronic devices, so we had fun the old-fashioned way. One particular summer afternoon, we decided to explore further than we ever had. My siblings were all there. There was Nina, the cutest one, who was only 3 years old. Nina's brother Fred, who was 5, and Josiah and Jacob, who were 12-year-old twins. Monica was 14 like me, and she was my foster parents' biological daughter. Reggie and Harry were 16 and Edward was already 18, but our foster parents decided not to kick him out, even though he refused to find a job after leaving high school. There were so many of us, it was hard to keep track of everyone most of the time. But that afternoon, we were all together running through the forest like wild animals. "Ooh, Joseph, what's this flower called?" Nina asked while hopping with joy. She loved being out in nature. "I don't know, but it's pretty just like you," I said, and I put it in her hair. She ran ahead to meet the others while I walked slowly collecting strange-looking rocks for my rock collection. We'd been walking for quite a while and I hadn't realized we had gone further than we ever had. Suddenly, I heard some shouting ahead. "Joseph, come quickly, look at this!" It sounded like Fred, but everyone else was shouting. I ran ahead to see what the fuss was about. I found everyone near the entrance of a little cave. "Did everyone else see what I just saw?" asked Monique. "I feel like I'm dreaming," said Edward. I pushed them aside and walked inside. "All I see is darkness," I said. Edward handed me his cell phone and turned the light on. I flashed it around. It's just an ordinary cave, Edward," I said. "Look over there," he said and pointed me towards a huge metal chest of drawers. I was extremely confused. What was a chest of drawers doing in a cave in the middle of nowhere? "Did you all open it?" I asked. He nodded and motioned for me to go over there myself to investigate. I opened the first drawer and it was full of gold blocks. The second was filled with precious stones. I opened the others and it seemed like all the drawers contained something valuable. My foster brothers and sisters stood next to me and started shoving stuff in their pockets. They took as much as they could. I, however, was only interested in a small silver box. It was the size of an ordinary jewelry box, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get it open. This was the only thing I took from the cave before we went home. The kids had a blast for the next few days. Edward helped them to trade in the valuables for money, and they bought tons of stuff. Expensive clothes, shoes, and all the latest gadgets. Our foster parents didn't notice at all. Sometimes it felt like they were just furniture. Then, one day Edward disappeared. He sent us a message saying that he had taken more things from the cave and that he had enough money to start a life of his own now. He never even said goodbye. I would have cared a little more if I wasn't so preoccupied with trying to open that darn silver box. I was pretty sure that whatever was inside was more valuable than everything else we had taken from the cave. I took it to a locksmith one day to see if I could get a key or if he could open it. "I don't understand this thing at all. I suppose it's a special kind of lock and that there's only one key on the planet which can open it," he said. "Come on, there must be a way," I said. He nodded sadly and I left. I kept it in a secure location under my bed, and one night I could have sworn I heard it beeping. "I guess I'm so obsessed with this stupid thing that I'm hearing it making noises now," I thought as I rolled over into another dream. The next few days I tried and tried again to get the box open. Eventually, I became so frustrated that I threw it in the trash. I made sure I looked out of the window when the garbage truck came so I could make sure it was as far away from me as possible. Phew, now I can live my life again without worrying about that stupid thing, I thought. Our summer continued along happily. We went outside less and less because we had the latest Xbox and PlayStation and billions of games. We still tried to go out and get some sunshine sometimes, but I guess it would have been better if we had stayed inside. One afternoon, 6 of us went to the park just so the younger kids could play a bit. Nina was super excited and hopped all the way there. When we got there, the twins, Monica and I, sat down on a bench and started arguing about who was the best character from our favorite TV show. Then we argued about other things, but we were so caught up that we completely forgot about Nina and Fred. Then Fred came running towards us crying. "Somebody took Nina," he said. "What do you mean? Stop being silly. Go get her. It's time for us to head home anyway," Monica replied. "A man dressed in all black picked her up and took her away. She didn't even scream," he said. "Where did he go?" I asked, and he pointed. We all ran in that direction looking for whoever was carrying our little sister away, but we had no luck. She was gone. Monica had a cell phone, so she called the police right away. Then we ran home to tell our foster parents what had happened. When the police came to our house, they couldn't understand why anyone would kidnap a little foster girl. "It's not like you all have lots of money or anything," one of the officers said. "No need to rub it in. Go find our daughter," my foster mom screamed. None of us slept that night. Our foster mom cried all night while our dad couldn't stop pacing up and down. We were too worried. Where had they taken Nina? Why had they taken her? She must be so scared. When the sun rose, I dozed off for a while. When I got up, I showered and got dressed. Then I went downstairs to make breakfast for my family, who had all fallen asleep. I heard a shuffle near the kitchen door and saw an envelope slip underneath. I grabbed it without daring to open the door. It wasn't addressed to anyone, so I opened it and pulled out a note. It read, "Joseph, if you ever want to see your sister alive again, meet me in front of the post office at 2:00 p.m. tomorrow." I was terrified and confused. How did they even know that I was the one standing in the kitchen? That day was filled with a horrible anxiety because the police had no updates and no luck finding Nina. I didn't say anything about the letter to the police because I thought it might mess up the plan somehow and Nina might get hurt. So I kept it all a secret and I went to wait in front of the post office the next day. As I stood with sweaty palms and a beating heart, a huge, expensive-looking car with heavily tinted windows pulled up in front of me. The window came down and the driver motioned for me to get in the back seat. I was terrified, but I went in. "Hello, Joseph," a beautiful woman next to me said. Immediately, my terror faded because she was too gorgeous to be real. "I realize you found my family's hidden stash of wealth. I don't mind that your foster brothers and sisters took most of my things. It's fine. You all deserve it after being poor, abandoned children for so long. All I want back is a silver box. I know you have it because there's a tracking device inside, and it was in your room a few nights ago. This box contains a treasured family heirloom, and it's worth millions. If this isn't returned to me soon, you will be killed. If you cannot return the box, you have to give me $50 million. You have 10 days. I will meet you at the same time, same place in 10 days, she said. If you're so rich, why is such a treasured heirloom in a cave? That makes no sense. Where is my sister? I asked. At that moment, the car stopped in a vacant parking lot. Another car quickly approached and someone pushed Nina outside. There she is. Now get out of my car, she said. And remember, 10 days or else. I ran to pick up Nina. Are you okay? I asked. I was really scared, but I'm happy that I'm back with you now, she said and hugged me. The cars sped away, and I went home with Nina, who was embraced by everyone at home. When they asked me what happened, I told them the kidnappers returned her, but I was very vague about it all. I was terrified. I had no money, and I had thrown the box away. How was I going to become a millionaire in 10 days? I had to get to work quickly. In the beginning, I started doing odd jobs for my neighbors, like mowing their lawns and weeding their gardens. But in 5 days, I had only made $150. I realized that with only 5 days to go, I had to do something quickly. Crime, I thought. It's the only way. I know this was a stupid idea, but I was desperate, and I guessed I could do something illegal to make money fast. I made many fake accounts online and sent out emails and messages to random people saying that they had won $1 million. But they'd have to deposit $1,000 before they could get it. You know, a classic scam. But then I realized I could not continue when a lady named Sandra sent me this message. "Hi there, I'm so excited that I won this money. We are down to our last few dollars and I've used all the money in my savings account to send you $1,000. My husband has been sick with cancer and I don't have enough money to take care of him. I recently lost my job and my 11-year-old Dalmatian is sick. I am so broke that I can't even take him to the vet. I have been so depressed. Thanks so much. It's a miracle that I'm now a millionaire." My heart broke. This lady really had nothing and she sent it all to me. There was no way I'd be able to make this money by committing crimes. I just didn't have it in me. I went to the living room, sat down, and buried my face in my hands. I had never felt this horrible. Suddenly, Nina hopped into the room. Joseph, are you sad?" she said. I didn't lift my head. She left the room and came back in. "Here, I have this pretty toy that might make you happy. I found it in the trash the other day," she said. I lifted my head, and there it was. Nina was holding the silver box. "I didn't know you took it out of the trash," I exclaimed. "Yes, I hid it in my room." "You are happy now, yay," she said and hugged me. I couldn't believe my luck. This little girl had saved my life. At the end of my 10-day countdown, I was able to return the box to the gorgeous woman who just smiled and nodded at me. After this totally insane experience, I've taken a vow to protect Nina forever. I will do my best to make sure that we are never split up and placed in different homes.